Fellowship of the Broken. Making Sense of 12-Step Recovery by Angelo. Chapter 52. Keep Coming Back. This simple slogan has probably saved more lives in 12-Step Fellowship than any other. There is no requirement for attending a 12-Step meeting other than the desire to escape from addiction. We are all welcomed, no matter what we may have done or how many times we may have relapsed. The kindness, compassion and love shown within 12-Step Fellowship is unconditional. Each time a story of relapse is told, it reinforces the commitment to recovery in all of those present. We need to be reminded of what it was like, lest we forget. It often takes time and repeated exposure to spiritual concepts before such ideas penetrate the self-sabotaging defences of the personal ego mind. Some of us may grasp the relevance of recovery through spiritual principles fairly quickly, but for most of us it will take time and repetition. Even if we are honest, open-minded and willing, we will still need to keep coming back in order to absorb what is being shared in the meetings. It may be tempting to read the literature and work on the steps in isolation, but this would be a big mistake. We need the energy and wisdom of fellowship in order to make meaningful progress. We obviously cannot be part of 12-Step Fellowship unless we keep coming back to meetings. It's also essential to keep coming back regardless of how long we may have been in recovery. As well as being reminded of the importance of step 1, it's also part of our spiritual practice. 12-step meetings are where we can be useful. We can carry the message of recovery to those who are lost and lonely. We can share our experience, strength and hope so that it may be of help to others. We can be of service in helping to keep the meetings running smoothly. We can be a demonstration of spiritual principles in action. We can raise the collective vibration of consciousness through our presence. We can be available to accept requests for sponsorship. We are the fellowship. We are responsible. We need to be attending meetings. We need to keep coming back. I've listed 30 reasons why we may drift away from 12-Step Fellowship, but none of them are valid excuses. We have a responsibility to give back what has freely been given to us. Any hesitation can only be a residual aspect of the personal ego self. If we are practicing self-awareness, self-contemplation and self-forgetting, then we will keep coming back. There is always further to go and more to be revealed. I mentioned at the outset that current success rates in 12-step recovery are only in the range 5 to 10%, with success defined as sober after 12 months and still actively engaged in recovery. These figures clearly indicate that the majority of those who initially reach out for help do not keep coming back. They fall victim to one of the many self-centered reasons why they should stay away, and they inevitably struggle and often relapse. This is not a failure of the 12-step program of recovery. This is either a failure to understand the severity of the problem or an over-reliance on the personal ego mind to make decisions about how to recover. This attachment to the personal ego mind is, of course, the cause of all forms of addiction. It's not only the core problem, but also the reason why so many addicts prevent themselves from engaging in effective recovery. My own experience of sponsoring others has resulted in a success rate nearer 90%. The sample size is obviously of no statistical significance, but it does at least show that much higher rates are achievable. This does not make me a good sponsor, but it does demonstrate that recovery is highly probable given an effective understanding and practice of the program. A good understanding of the program does not produce recovery in itself, but it does increase the motivation and commitment to use the spiritual toolkit on a regular basis. It really does work. It would be a selfish and self-centered act of self-sabotage not to engage in a simple process that will transform our own lives for the better and the lives of others. The Dalai Lama is credited with saying that if we were to teach meditation to all children in the world, then we would eliminate violence within a single generation. In a similar vein, it can be seen that all adults would benefit enormously from working through the 12-step program at an appropriate time in their lives. Most humans will not feel the need to undertake such a process. For those of us who suffer with addiction in our lives, we can consider ourselves to be very fortunate to have been given this opportunity. I have been blessed to live a full and varied life so far, but I can say with absolute conviction that engaging in 12-step recovery has been by far the best and most worthwhile undertaking. In this respect, I'm extremely grateful for my brokenness. I've written this book because I sincerely believe that a deeper understanding of 12-step recovery can lead to improved success rates. This is my motivation and my deepest wish. If you have found this book helpful, then please share it with others. We each have the ability to share the light of understanding and to help our fellows in their recovery. 12-step recovery works if we work it and continue to work it. I wish you all the best in your own recovery. Our paths may never cross, but our common humanity means that we are already together in the fellowship of the broken. Keep coming back.